Wilson grabbed Nonagee's right arm. "The team is going to miss you out there on the mound. You've got one hell of a fastball, Nonagee." The Apache grinned. "If you can keep Corporal Miller from guard duty so much, you wouldn't need my right arm." He gave a short laugh. "At least McGowan let me keep the horse." "Big deal. What are you going to do now?" He stopped, his dark face revealing no emotion. "Don't know. Maybe I will go find what is left of my people." "You know where they are?" The tight line of his lips lifted into a thin, knowing smile. "I did not tell the army everything." "You sly dog." Nonagee laughed, and they resumed their march across the parade ground. "I'll miss you. You're the best damn tracker I've ever known, Nonagee. If you ever need references, just send them by to see me." Wilson smiled, remembering. "We had us some good times, didn't we?" "Yes, some good times, some not so good." "I will miss you too, Wilson." At the paymaster's door, Wilson clasped the Apache's hand one last time and pumped it mightily. "You take care of yourself, Nonagee. Maybe someday our paths will cross again. Till then, all my best." The late afternoon Arizona sun glinted dull red off the lenses of Sergeant Sam Butler's field glasses as they followed the rider below. A tight grin creased Butler's face, and he passed the glasses to Corporal Conrad Gunter, sprawled on the hot rocky ground beside him. "There's our boy." Butler glanced back at the 6 men tucked out of sight behind the rugged bluffs where ocotillo, stiff desert grasses, sage, and creosote clung to the rocky soil. The men took what shade they could find among the rocks, while their horses grazed in a swale splashed bright green from the palo verde growing there. What a desolate land, Butler thought. He could never figure out what all the fuss was about. If it was up to him, he'd happily leave it to the scorpions, rattlesnakes, and Apaches. "It's him, all right," Gunter confirmed. Butler scooted down the back side of the rise. "He's coming." "The Apache?" Walt Green asked, scratching the stubbly growth on his chin. "Who else you think he means, bullethead?" A man in frayed blue trousers scoffed from the side of a tall rock. Green wheeled toward Peter Hannigan, but before he could retaliate, Conrad Gunter came scrambling down off the slope, sending a cloud of dust and stones clattering before him. "He's headed south, just like you reckoned he would, Sam." "We're in luck, boys. If that patch is going where I think he is, we'll have us another fine shipment for Ortega and his friends. Get off your butts and get ready to mount up." Butler turned toward the graying man with faded sergeant stripes on his sleeve. "Think you can keep that patch in sight till we see for sure where he's going?" John Setter spat a stream of tobacco juice at a lizard sunning on the side of a rock. He missed, and the reptile darted into a dark crevice. "Been following the Apaches for nearly 10 years, Sam. Can't see as this one will be any different." "Get to it, then. Make damn sure you don't lose him. We'll be behind you a ways so the Injun don't get suspicious." Setter swung up onto his horse and started off on the Apache's trail, while the others gathered their gear and mounted up. At Butler's orders, they moved out, following Setter and the Indian. The trail cut south along the eastern lift of the Chiricahua Mountains. Nonagee followed it until late in the day, then suddenly turned his horse to the west and into the mountains. He made camp at Ham Springs. Early the next morning he pushed on toward Camp Rucker, but he swung wide of the small army outpost by a couple of miles and crossed the pass to the south, working his way up over the ridge and then down into Horseshoe Canyon. On the canyon floor, a trickle of water ran away to the east. Nonagee reined to a halt and watered his animal. He thrust his head into the cold water and drank deeply of it himself, then rested in the shade of a gnarled cedar. His dark eyes scanned the rugged landscape, searching, probing the shadows and clefts. He had not been at ease since leaving the fort, and he wondered if it wasn't just the cool welcome he knew he'd be getting upon his return to his people. Although the White Mountain Apaches had never taken part in the wars with the white man, he had many friends, many family members who had. Some would even consider him a traitor for his work with the army, and he did